Matthew.
Hola, me llamo Ignacio.
Bravo, ja sam Milica.
And this is Cowley Culture Talk. All right, well, welcome Ignacio, also known as Keko, so we'll call you Keko, and Milica, also known as Millie, so we're going to go with those names today. This is our February podcast, and as most people know, February is the month for St. Valentine's Day. And so today's topic is going to be love and relationships. Love and relationships around the world. Americans have all sorts of interesting takes on this, and I don't think that there's one set way we do things. But in your own countries, Keko, you in Spain, Milica, you in Bosnia-Herzegovina, I'm sure you have different ways of going about sort of the ritual of falling in love and being in relationships and all those sorts of things. So, Keko, you first, tell us a little bit about love and relationships in Spain.
Love in Spain is, how can I say, like relationship like goes slower. You know, like people here, like from my point of view, I see they fall in love or like they get into the people like faster than in Spain, for example.
Okay.
For example, in Spain, if you like are hanging out with someone and you keep hanging out, you're gonna keep hanging out until like, I don't know, 1 month maybe, and then you can like start dating. But here in America, as you like hang out 2 or 3 times, people just like think, oh, we're in a relationship, we're gonna like fall in love, we're gonna be together for however it's long.
Okay.
So it's kind of like different things, but at the end it's almost the same thing. At the end you like with someone, you fall in love with them.
Yeah.
People like needs more time or less time to fall in love with someone. So like each person, each culture.
So correct me if I'm wrong, what you're kind of saying is that you think the public perception in America of relationships is sort of quick. Like if you are hanging out with another girl, quickly Americans are going to say, oh, they're dating.
Yeah.
And
like the point of view of the people,
yeah.
as soon as they see someone like hanging out, they're going to say, oh, are they like together? Are they dating?
Okay. Yeah. What about marriage in Spain? What is that tradition like?
I mean, the tradition is always after a couple of years, 4 or 5 years, it's like average more or less, people gonna start thinking about marriage. And it's just like the wedding, and then there's a lot of like breakups between marriage sometimes.
Okay.
But if you're happy, like people kind of stay 50, 60 years together.
Yeah,
so that's
of course, like any place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the wedding ceremony any more unique or anything? Or is there anything sort of there that makes Spain sort of set apart from other places that you know of?
Yeah, I mean actually we have like 2 ceremonies.
Okay.
First is like by the church, and the other one is like the town hall. So it's like just like the town hall is more like private, just like the family, and that's it. And then the church is like with friends, people you know.
So the church is the community.
Is the
celebration.
community celebration.
Okay. So there's like the spiritual aspect and then the legal.
Yeah, the legal aspect. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. All right. Well, Millie, what about you in Bosnia-Herzegovina? What are love and relationships? What's something unique or interesting?
I feel in my country it's still more like patriarchal style where like for example I love to listen to my mom's story because my parents are a little bit older, and I love to listen how guys were actually like fighting to get the girls to invite them for the dance or for like to go out. It was something special, and then but today that kind of changed. So it's similar with like in Spain, people are more trying to know each other before they go in a relationship, and they go out a lot as a friends, and then later it's more like a love relationship. And,
like more serious.
Yes, more serious. Okay. And then when we get to the marriage, of course it depends. Like some people get married after a couple months dating, some people after a couple years. That just vary from like person to person. Like from people. But when it comes time to the marriage, I think we have really specific and different tradition about our weddings. It's yeah.
Like what? Like what are some like the hallmarks of those traditions?
I mean, it's kind of the same as in Spain. We have church first, and then after is more with friends, family, and other people.
Okay.
And our weddings are pretty huge, like about 3 up to like 700 people on the
Okay.
wedding. Depends like how couple wants, like if you have more family or
Yeah.
less, but usually it's a lot of people there.
So is it important to like, do they save up and make sure that they can have a big wedding? Is that really important?
Yes, it's like
So they'll
it's
put it
really
off.
important,
Same in
yeah,
Spain.
to
Same
have
in Spain?
yes, to have a big wedding, and of course some people choose to have just like family
Mhm.
circle
Legal
wedding,
one.
small, but it's usually with a lot of people, and we have a specific traditions like after the church, actually before the church, people go and kind of like to steal the bride, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and they go and they pay, you know. There's like a usually bride's brother on the door, and or like first cousin, and they are trying to like take a money from the groom, you know, and say, okay, you want to buy her, and then that's
Okay,
that's
so
like
they
something, you know.
ransom the bride off.
Yes.
Okay, that's fun. Okay.
Yes, and then just like little things like that. There's
neat.
just depends of the part of the country.
Okay.
They have like different.
Yeah, there's
style.
different.
Yes, but
things
usually
going
there's a
on.
couple of them. They are unique.
Okay.
And then some of them they are for everybody.
All right, interesting. Well, another thing we want to talk about is you two have been hit by the love bug, or at least the relationship bug. Maybe we don't want to say love yet. I don't know. But
Yes.
is it
What do you
love?
mean?
Well, you know, in the United States, the "I love you" portion is very delayed in most relationships. Americans are pretty reticent to say "I love you" to people, and I don't know if that's the same elsewhere in the world. But you know, it's something that's sort of reserved only until you're.
I mean, I think it's just like all around the world. It's like the fear you have to say "I love you," and the other person like doesn't feel the same about you.
Oh yeah, okay.
So maybe they just like waiting like to like both see each other, they love each other, and then say it. That's maybe why it's like kind of like late.
Making sure that they
Yeah, making sure
reciprocate
they'll say, yeah.
is important, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good point. So you guys are in a relationship, and
14 months.
14 months. All right. Yeah. All right. That's awesome. So, but for both of you, English is your second language. So I'm sure that communication can be tough. There's also obviously some cultural differences that here and there. Not a ton probably, but it's still, you know, they're there. So what are some things that you guys, I don't know, I don't want to air all your struggles, but let's say things you struggle with and things that you've learned to really appreciate about each other being from different backgrounds.
I mean, yeah, sometimes it's difficult because of the language. Sometimes we want to say something that we think in our own language and then try to say in English. And sometimes we don't know how to say that. It's like struggle a little bit or like don't understand each other. But at the end, it's just like to talk. Since we started dating, always like we're trying to talk and like make things clear, and that helped us like understand each other and see the point of each one. Being from different cultures, so you have to like how you say like know each other, like get used to each other.
Certainly.
Yes, I remember in the beginning because we started being friends almost like maybe after 2 or 3 months when we came to America, and then it was really hard for both of us because I barely spoke English, and then maybe he knew a little bit more, but I'm better now, so. So,
Good confidence there. I like it.
Yes, but we always had good communication, and like he said, it is sometimes hard to express yourself in different language, and especially that English is not his first language as well. So it was kind of hard, but since the first day, I think we understood each other very well, and yeah, here we are.
Good. Yeah, and
Here.
that's important. Sometimes there's those nonverbal cues that
Yeah.
can really help a relationship along. So,
Mm.
last question before we get into our game for the day, and this one is I guess more. I think a question will be burning in everyone. Who's going to learn the other's language first, or has this already started?
I already understood a lot of Spanish
Okay,
before.
good,
I was
good.
watching Spanish TV shows.
Ah, the telenovelas?
Yes, telenovelas. It's more Mexican because
Yes.
he's telling me always, I say something and he is, that's not Spanish, it's Mexican.
Spanish.
And I'm like, you understand what I want to say?
Yeah.
And then I'm taking Spanish class, but
Good.
he is getting there. He knows some basics of Serbian, so.
It's harder for me to
Okay.
to
You could probably go to Serbia and at least
say
get around, know where the bathroom is, and order a sandwich. No.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
But I know the basic, like hello, how are you?
Okay. The greetings.
Yeah.
All right.
Every time when I call my mom and then he is there, and every time he says the same thing, like 3 sentences that he knows,
Like,
and
hello,
that's
how are
it.
you? I'm fine, thanks. So,
All right. Well,
Basic.
that's the basics. And
Yeah.
that's a good start. All right. Well, that's great, and I really do appreciate you guys coming on today, and sort of helping bring awareness to this, this great month that we have. Yeah, but I think it's important for us to understand that we don't just celebrate love just in February. I think everybody around the world celebrates it in some way all throughout the year. But here's our game for the day, and we just have 3 questions today. You guys are going to play on a team, so you're gonna either win together or lose together, which is important to understand in
Always
relationships.
together.
And the loser of the game, whether it be me or you, will get shot by what I'm calling Cupid's arrows. Okay, so we're going to use this little Nerf arrow gun here, and I'm going to pull out my trusty bell here. If you get the answer right, I will ring the bell. If it's wrong, I will not ring the bell. So let's start with this. I'm going to ask you a question, give you 3 options of where this relationship or love sort of I don't know what we want to call it, this ritual or practice is done, and then you guys will guess. All right. So the first one is what I'm calling the lunchbox of love, and this comes from wanderlust.co.uk. This was something that they had on their site. I thought it was really interesting. So what this is, the lunchbox of love. There are ornately decorated boxes with delicious food, and they're made in this country, and they're meant to convey love and admiration. Now, in this country, open signs of love and affection are, I don't want to say taboo, but they're not often done. And so the more intricate the box and the more tasty the food inside, the harder the food is to make, the higher the sign of affection is there. Okay? So the lunchbox of love. Is this from A, Vietnam, B, Japan, or C, Thailand?
Yeah.
All right, do you have an answer?
Yeah.
All right, what are we going with?
See, Taylor.
Thailand.
Yeah.
Okay. You are incorrect.
Oh,
Correct answer is Japan. B.
Japan.
that's
Japan.
happening.
Japan. Most of us would know them as bento boxes, and they're really neat looking. This next one is called Garwal. Okay? And this is a courtship ritual and a competition. Okay? And it's done, and I'm going to give you the name of the tribe, but you're going to have to guess what country this tribe is from. So it's a courtship ritual and competition among the Wadowi Fula people. They wear elaborate clothing and makeup, and the clothing and makeup is actually worn by the men, okay? And they paint their faces in a traditional color. They form lines and they sing and dance. The dance is known as a yaki. And they do this in order to sort of show off their skills and their bodies to potential marriage partners. So they're trying to attract potential marriage partners. The tribe is a nomadic tribe of cattle herders from one of these 3 countries. in Northern Africa. You tell me which, okay? Is it A, Niger, B, Sudan, or C, Libya? What are we going to go with?
I messed up last time.
A, Niger.
Niger. You are correct. You are correct. The rituals are really interesting, and they've been widely documented by popular publications like National Geographic and things, and it's really interesting to look and see that. So this last one is essentially, this is ornate beadwork, and this comes from marquee.co.za, and this doesn't necessarily have to do just with love, but love and desire is certainly part of it. So what they do is they create different colors of beads, and they create jewelry that's worn all over the body, oftentimes on the neck, sometimes on the hands and things, but all over the body really. And the different colors are meant to express various emotions and sentiments, including love and desire. Each color represents different things, and each color has both a positive and a negative meaning to it, right? So there's positive and negatives. And depending on the pattern in which they are, it determines whether it's not a positive or a negative. So the jewelry is worn by all people in this group, but it's almost exclusively made by women, okay? So here are your three choices. Is this from A, Zulu culture in South Africa, B, Guajajara of Brazil, or C, the Navajo of the southern United States and northern Mexico? What are we going with?
South Africa.
All right, the Zulu of South Africa. You are correct. Yes, you are correct. So, as usual, I have lost 2-3. So each of you will get to strike me with these Cupid arrows. All you'll do is you'll hold it like this in the one hand, and you'll place it in there, and you'll just try not to hit me in the face.
Okay.
I'm excited about it.
And I think it'll be pretty fun. There's a big area to aim for, okay? So. All right, Keko didn't even pull all the way back. Millie, you gotta
I'm gonna be like.
pull all the way back. Don't break it, but pull all the way back, okay? Oh boy, here we go. Getting shot by Cupid's arrow. Ooh, that was a good one. All right, well, thanks guys for being on the show today. That's all we have. This is Cowley Culture Talk. We'll see you next time.